Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Let's go.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys.
We're on holidays at the moment.
Oh, I'm loving it.
And
Sick.
loving it.
We've gotten a collection of some of the finest work that we've done throughout the year. Oh, guys.
And then we padded it out with some rubbish.
Don't undersell it, no.
Yeah.
Don't undersell it.
And this, of course, being a live broadcast. Today's best bits are all about...
From the Vault 2016.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, my God. Right to the point you are.
Enjoy.
This is Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Hi, doing really good.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Steve, we're so excited, mate.
We're talking to history right now. History.
Oh, yikes. Is that a comment on my age?
No way.
It's a comment on your influence, sir.
Oh, like
Some
this,
people you say, wow, I'm talking to the future. When you're young.
well, without you, mate, we wouldn't be looking on my iPad right now, looking at our iPhones, using laptops. I mean, you changed computing. Like, you actually were the father of computing, really, it feels.
I'm glad you feel that way. And I look back at point in time in life about 10 years where I can't believe the magic that was pouring out of my brain. And I know my reasons back then, and I'm just so thankful for it. But you know what? There have been a million people between me and you that brought you the joy in your equipment and the feeling that you can do a lot more than you could otherwise, a lot more than me. And you always have to go back and try to find one person to give all the credit.
No, I think we can all say it's you, and you should take it. No one else is listening, so just take it. Hey, Steve, one question I had for you was that you started back going to the computer club, right? How did you guys know that you were on the right track by thinking that in the future people will have their own personal devices?
Okay, you guys, I'm not sure who you mean by you guys. Steve Jobs was not going to the Homebrew Computer Club. He was not in the state. He did not know that I was going. He did not even know that I developed my computer and was showing it off every 2 weeks at the computer club. And if you believe a movie that shows him taking me to a computer club, forget it. What a bunch of BS. He came into town about once every 5 years and took something I had designed and made it into a little bit of money for us because he had no money.
Yeah.
But at the club, the people at the club, if that's what you mean by you guys, oh gosh, it was Stanford professors and Berkeley professors and people who would put computers in storefront windows. When computers didn't exist, they cost much more than houses. But everybody in the community could come in and spend a little bit of time using this computer that was given on a grant or something, People's Computer Company it was called. And we formed our computer club, and they said, oh my gosh, once we all have computers, society is going to change. We'll be able to communicate well and educate well, and the geek who knows computers is going to be important. And we believed in these things because we were the ones who wanted our own computer, and there were so few of us, and we were not mainstream. And mainstream people and companies just didn't even believe what we were about. They thought we were just some little dinky group meeting in a club, but we thought we were onto the biggest revolution ever, and we used the word revolution.
Yeah. You were.
Okay.
As it turned out.
Then back then, if they had no idea that this would be the reality with computers and tablets and how connected everyone is, what do you think is going to happen in the world of computing over the next 10 or 20 years, Woz?
Well, that's so hard to predict. Back then, we the amount of memory to hold a song cost maybe $1 million. So you wouldn't even think that computers would ever hold a song.
One song.
So you see the amount of change that has happened, and now the change happens so quickly, and I kind of get behind. I have a life and a busy life, and I'll tell you, the internet makes it busier than ever, and I can't keep up with a lot of the change and some of the new latest social web stuff. And so predicting 10 years out, I'm like you. I read the papers. I mean, sure, I can see some interesting things coming. Self-driving cars has many, many levels of what is self-driving, from assistive up to self-driving. But then there's artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence also has a lot of levels. Does it mean just a game that can, a computer that can play a game, a computer program? Is that artificial intelligence?
No, it means Skynet.
It's a Google search that gets me answers I used to ask a smart person with a brain.
Yeah.
Is that artificial intelligence? No, artificial intelligence, I think, kind of has to eventually sit down like it's a real human being, and you can ask it almost anything and quiz it, and it knows you and cares about you. And we're not quite to the point that we have machines that have consciousness and caring and feeling the way we humans do. So artificial intelligence always means intelligence like a human being, and anything less than that is simulated intelligence. We write programs to make computers simulate that they're smart, or to run through a program that over and over and over practices, and it learns something like a video game in 1 hour. It can beat any human. And it seems like a level of smartness, but it's only simulated smartness. We're not to the real thing yet.
Because I think you're the real thing. Are you still having ideas all the time?
Oh, you know what? Most of my ideas are actually making up jokes as I walk around all the time. Yes, I do about products and where they should go, and are we stuck in all this? And I'm actually getting a little bit into the builder movement myself, going along with early kids. There's so many youngsters, 10 years old, way ahead of me, but taking my Raspberry Pi, and you know what? It's the fun in life that I don't know. A lot of computers that do everything for you can take you away from the learning steps of how were they made or what's down at a lower level. What's the operation about? And that's what's interesting to me.
Hey, Steve, I was thinking that when I've heard you speak before, that one company that you've always mentioned is Hewlett-Packard, right? And it seemed like you were so passionate when you were working for them as an engineer. You were so much more passionate with them than what you were to get involved with Apple. Is that correct?
In a lot of human ways, what a company culture could be, absolutely Hewlett-Packard. Back then, with those early Hewlett-Packard ways and values, definitely we never equaled that at Apple. Now we're into a different world where almost all tech companies, there's an awful lot of cafeterias and food and things like that around, a lot of perks, but that's not the same thing as a culture that makes every worker feel respected and valued, and we're all family. No, there were a lot of things that Apple never quite came up to that level, but Apple goes up and down as far as morale and, as how good it is to the employees and how they feel and all that.
Yeah,
and
right.
What's coming out, yeah.
Sure.
Now, we know that there's been two popular movies of late, Jobs and Steve Jobs. Now, Steve Jobs was with Michael Fassbender, and your character was played by Seth Rogen. In Jobs, it was Ashton Kutcher, and you were played by Josh Gad. Out of those two movies, if you've seen them, which one is more you?
Oh, they're both me because they both played me as being smart and
caring.
And caring. But I'll tell you something. Josh Gad read my book a couple times, and Seth Rogen didn't. And Josh Gad tried to get some parts in that movie done the way they really were, like when Jobs turned down stock to other employees. As founder stock. We had all the founder stock. They didn't mention I sold $20 million of I gave away $20 million of my own stock to 5 people just because they were in that garage or those early days with us. And why are we called founders? Why do a few of the people, we were all founders, why do a few of us have all the stock?
You're lovely.
You're a good person.
They wouldn't put it in that movie. I think the movie was just, Ashton Kutcher just wanted to portray Jobs as the overall god of everything.
Well, I'm waiting to see a movie from your point of view, starring
just called
you.
Was.
No, but seriously, because we've seen, it's always about Steve Jobs and it's always about you being the sidekick, but without your technology, and I'd love to see your point of view.
Yeah, get my book, I Was.
No, but I want to see it in a movie. I don't read, Steve. I don't read.
You know what? A lot of people have approached me about the movie idea, but I am so close to it. I don't want somebody else to just say, we'll take what we know about you and we'll make a movie for you. I am short of time these days, and I want to be totally overhead and overseen what is in it and how it's portrayed, because I have a big feeling about I want to show the fun side, too, that I brought into everything.
Yeah. Just staying with this, we look at Steve Jobs, and he was his worth is about $8 billion, right? And I was looking at yours, right? And you probably don't know this, but it says around $100 million.
Oh no! Oh no! I never started the company for money. I never wanted money. I felt that having big money was bad. It corrupts your money, and power can corrupt you a lot of times. Doesn't mean they have to. And I didn't want to be there, so I put all my money in at an early young age into museums and arts groups in San Jose. And into schools and education.
Yeah.
And no. I mean, no. I got down to.
Do you need to borrow some money?
I had to take a, maybe I don't know, 5 years ago, had a mortgage on my house. And
wow.
Now I'm working very hard. I'm working very hard doing public speaking.
You invented the computer.
I know, that's extraordinary.
You can invent the computer.
I do not want to live that sort of life, the private jet life and all that. I refused that from day one, and this is not something that just I was forced into. You could, if you read my book, you'll get a lot of that too.
Okay.
Now, Steve, we have a guest with us here in the studio. His name is Steve as well, and if you can imagine the biggest Apple fanatic in the world, he has his own website called applegoss.com. Whenever there's anything to do with Apple, he's our go-to man. He works with us here at Nova.
And he just absolutely loves you.
Yes, this is hero worship at its greatest. Steve, meet Steve.
Hi, it's a thrill to be able to talk to you, Steve. An absolute thrill.
I'll give you another little clue, though. I got into the internet so early in my life. I got a 3-letter.com. Was.com. And guess what?
Yeah.
Com is for companies, and I don't want to be treated like a company. I'm a nonprofit type person, so I always use was.org.
Oh, wow.
Okay. There you
Unbelievable.
go.
I guess from founding Apple, Steve, how do you think the company's changed since you left, and I guess in more recent years?
Well, although I didn't technically leave, I'm the only person who's been on the payroll every single week since we started the company to this day.
Wow.
The only person. I get a low salary. But as far as I did leave, like full-time involvement in operation, I've watched a lot of ups and downs. I've been there for parts of it. And, and I'm just glad for where it is. I sure didn't want to interfere with Steve's, success. He came back so mature and so able to run a company and turn great ideas into fruition. Didn't want to ever intrude on that and take away from his glory.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We'll all just go and cry in the corner.
Yeah, it's back, everybody. It's back. This is one of my vices.
I thought you were talking about me. It's back. In the studio. I was like, itch. Are we back? It's back.
And here it is.
It's Megan.
Now starring Megan Gale.
Tenth season too, Megan. This show, I mean, I'm not trying to make you sound old because you didn't start with this at all.
No,
but,
that's
it is
you're the new
flying.
girl on the block.
It's flying.
Yeah, it is. It's flying. 10 years. And not many shows have a 10-year history.
That's
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
Which I think says a lot about the show, and it's always had a good following, but it's just growing from year to year. We've got a great group of girls this season, and it's great to be a permanent fixture on the show now. I've sort of participated on and off over the last decade, so it's good to be sitting on the judges.
You needed to be there.
Did I?
Yeah, of course you did. It makes sense. Megan Gale modelling, boom. You should have been You're Australia's models at the end. But I want to talk about the actual show itself. So I've watched every season.
Yep.
So right at the start, girls were clueless about this. Now, this season going in, they all sort of look like they're professional models. They know their angles. They know everything.
Very savvy.
And that's the Instagram, online, social media culture, isn't it? They're so much more aware of themselves.
They're aware, and I think, having 10 years of the show to draw from, and I mean, most of them have watched every single episode of every single season.
Yeah, and
so
Tyra's as well. They all know how to say easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl.
They do,
Just like
and they
Nathan
know.
does.
They know the whole show. They know what to expect. So on one hand, they're very well schooled when they come in, and some of them have had a little bit of experience modelling. Some of them have had zero experience. But that said, it's still a reality show, and there's a lot of pressures that come with that. And there's a lot of, we put them through their paces. It's not just a school camp.
Yeah, no doubt
Which I think initially they're like, oh, no, we're moving into our house.
I love it when you
and then they're like, oh, I miss my mom.
I love it when you strap a model up to an iceberg and make it do a photo for 4 hours.
Yeah,
I love those sort of challenges. Like, feel
we
it.
didn't quite do that, but we put them through their
You
paces.
put them underwater, though.
Yeah, that's interesting the way,
Yeah, well, sometimes
I've had to do stuff underwater.
Yeah.
I've shot underwater.
Yeah.
I actually quite enjoyed it. But it's not easy, which is one thing. I mean, you do have to do some crazy things on shoots sometimes.
Because you don't really know your underwater face until your face is
Well, and it's hard to focus on where the camera is, and your body does different things underwater.
Yeah.
So, you've got to learn to move in different ways. It's interesting.
Megan, one of the things that I noticed when I saw the first episode and having a sneak peek of it, when I've seen these shows before, I look at some of the girls and I go, I don't see it. I don't see why they're so attractive.
See, I love the alien-looking ones.
Yeah, I don't at all. This group, I know you say it. You'd probably say it every year. This is a great group, but you can see that any of these girls could be top level models.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and I think there's. I mean, in beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and it's all subjective. But I think, there are some girls who you think instantly fit that normal cookie cutter model thing, and they don't end up making it to the end, because at the end of the day, it's not how tall you are, it's not how, because I think a lot of girls get told their whole life, oh, you're so tall and pretty, you're going to be a model, and that really, really, really irritates me. One, because it fills the girls with false hope, because they think that's all it takes, because a lot of it is how professional you are and how well you interpret your job each day and what you bring to the team that's working around you. Yes, it does help to be aesthetically beautiful, but there's other things that some girls look beautiful in person, but they don't quite focus photograph. The
Yeah.
same.
And why
It's
is
just
that?
registered.
What do you think that is?
What photogenic is, it's just something that's in your genes. And, I feel a little bit bad for girls who've been sent along to auditions because their family members have told them, oh my God, you're so pretty, you're going to be a model, and then they get really let down because they think that's all it takes.
At the end of the first judging for the first episode, you get a little bit upset, and I love that because you're real, like you're so real that you
my
just
sobbing moment. That caught me by surprise.
It wasn't fake. It was honest.
God, no.
It was real, and it
I
just
couldn't
happened.
Stop it.
And it was about the start of your career.
Did you cry?
Oh, I did get a little bit upset for you because I thought, but it was like it was the start of your career because people think your career just happened, but you had to fight for it, Megan.
I did. I had 5 years of really struggling to get work. And without getting too much away, there's a girl that's on the show. And, in episode 1, we always ask the girls about, tell us about yourself, why you're here, tell us about your experience in modelling, why do you want to do it? And this lovely girl, her name's Jordan, she started to talk about her struggles to start and why. And it was basically like looking at myself 20 years ago. Yeah, and I just started to lose it.
It was brilliant. I look like
kind of an
pig when I
ongoing
cry.
thing.
You look beautiful.
No, I was just consumed by the story of what was happening because it just really struck a personal chord with me.
Yeah.
But it was a moment. It was a really good moment with her, and we hugged it out, and
it was nice because what that girl got told is ridiculous when you look at her. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, she got told something.
You'll see it.
You'll see it. Tune in next Tuesday. But it's it's a good moment.
When we watch it too, one of the girls to start with was a great walker, right? And it was one of the things that she walks brilliantly, and then we'll chuck her on the stage and she can lead everybody out.
Yes, chuck her on the stage.
On a guy's point of view, how can a guy be a good walker? Because I know that, women just put their feet one in front of the other. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes.
Well, firstly, Shaun, you'll have to take the stick out of your bum.
What's the key to being a good walker, Megan?
Well, I think with girls, it's sometimes I don't know what it is. It's just something that you can be taught for sure. But I think some girls just have a way of holding themselves and their body language and the way they walk. I mean, some, develop this funny kind of walk when they're on the catwalk in heels. No, it is.
Like the old pony walk.
There's a pony trot. There's a sloppy walk.
Their shoes unfitting.
Or, they're just a bit pigeon-toed or whatever it is. But some people just hold themselves beautifully.
I'm a beautiful
and
walker.
Their posture, I bet you are.
Do you want me to do it?
Can work some stilettos.
Right now, I'll just quickly walk you.
But you got to do it in stilettos, Nathan.
All right, so ready? So this is me. Do you want me in stilettos?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, just grab the pair out of your bag, mate.
Ready?
Oh my God. So Perth Fashion Festival is on its way.
That'll be cool.
Nathan's still walking up and down the studio. On the back at the moment.
Is a serious contender for opening the show.
Oh, yeah, off to the side, everyone.
You know what I mean? At the end, you don't try anymore. At the end, you drop the hip. It's not over already.
Actually done it before. That was fantastic.
Thank you, Sophie.
I'll remember that forever. But there is girls that can definitely, they've just got it as soon as they put those shoes on and they walk.
Yeah. Just a quick one too. Why don't we see the models smile? When we take a photo with someone, you're like smiling with the people, but I don't see that.
On the catwalk?
Yeah. And
they get told not to sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's serious business, Shaun. Serious business.
No, a lot of the time designers will go, don't smile, look straight ahead. I always smiled. Or just even if it's just in your eyes, it's just rather than just looking blank.
Smizing.
Hashtag
smize.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Australia's Next Top Model Season 10 premieres next Tuesday, everybody, at 5:30 on Fox 8. And Megan Gale is a permanent fixture on Next Top Model now.
Yes.
Hi, Pammy.
Happy to be there.
We were just talking about TV shows we like, and I asked you about Stranger Things. I've been trying to get these guys to watch it. What do you tell them? What do you think?
You weren't even trying. You're not interested?
I don't know have enough. Fox Sports I go to. That's my go-to show that I can watch. And then I don't have. I'm off doing kids sport most of the time. And Nathan's been.
It's a time thing.
Yeah. You're being a good dad.
So we had a lady who rang up yesterday to back Nathan in.
Oh,
she was just a listener. Just went. I've been watching.
Well. I watched all of it in like 2 days.
Did you really?
Just
What
like,
are you doing on
just one
flights
more.
and stuff,
Just one
mate?
more.
Because then
Just one more.
suddenly you realise,
Sean and I just staying up late watching it. It's like, we've got a kid.
Is the baby crying or
No, of course not.
No, it's fine.
He's fine.
Suddenly you
He's got a
realise
toy.
Winona Ryder's there and you think, oh my God, Winona Ryder, well done.
And then it's set in the 80s.
Set in the
That's my
80s.
vintage.
Okay.
It's just like,
Hey, talking
what's
about
not
your
to love?
vintage, on your Instagram, you've posted a throwback to the Lost Boys.
Yes!
The Lost
Oh my
Boys,
God,
that was huge.
That was huge when I was growing up.
Amazing.
My dog was named Nanook after the
stop
dog
it.
in the Lost Boys.
Was that a husky as well?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
a Samoyed?
Alaska Malamute.
Alaska Malamute.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
same-
yeah.
same
So I had
thing.
the same
Yeah.
thing. So yeah, I love that we are, me, you and Sean are of the same, nearly exactly the same age.
Yes.
That we like all the same sort of stuff, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we still do. He's off
Yeah.
watching footy.
Well, you have to, Megan, which
Yes.
brings me to the next thing, right? You don't get enough time to spend probably in WA.
No.
West Coast Eagles are on the hunt big time for a tall forward and a ruckman in particular. If
hello.
Sean
You
got
know
moved
one.
from Richmond over here, then you'd have to...
He's just signed on for another 2 years.
No,
the
can break
training
that.
period, you know what happens there.
What would you do? Because then you could come here and you could be the first one in the Real Housewives of Perth.
Well, I've already got the in with Foxtel.
Yeah, you do.
So
do.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Think good.
You and Gina Reinhardt.
If he just, look, it would all be what he wanted to do. If he said, look, it's too good to pass up, I'm going to Perth, it wouldn't be a bad thing.
Oh, that's exciting. Would you move? What was your old hood?
Kunana.
Well, when I was really, really young, but no, well, I don't want to like saying where mum is now because I'm very protective where my family lives. But no, Freo, I used to spend a fair bit of time.
So you seem like you'd be free. If you moved back to Perth, where would you gravitate, do you think? Honestly, because, you know, like you're doing well.
Well, it would depends. I'd see if it's for him, it would be wherever's going to be easiest for him to train and everything.
Because they're moving out to Lathlane now. Did you go to John Curtin as well?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Am I meant to elaborate on that? I think it's a yes or no question. Yes, I did, and I majored in.
Did you do all the acting stuff there, Megan?
No, actually, we spoke about this earlier. I actually didn't do that, which I'm kicking myself now. And they also had a very good language program, so French and Italian, and I've worked a lot in Italy, of course, and worked for a big global French organisation by the name of L'Oreal, so it would have been like...
So all those opportunities at high school and you were just...
And I've just whittled them away. I just didn't even know. But as if you really don't think at the time that I'm going to be travelling the world and needing to speak other languages.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
you don't think about
I've
that.
got mates that are obsessed with Mad Max. We were talking about it a little bit earlier. Do you think there's going to be a Mad Max sequel? Because people want it. They loved it so much.
I think there's definitely the possibility for it, but I know that in George Miller's eyes, it was a very, very big undertaking doing Fury
epic.
Road. It was epic.
Yeah, it was
and
an amazing
was grueling.
film. Yeah.
And it's big to do films like that. It's just huge. So, he's in his early 70s now. So I think there's definitely the desire for it and the want for it. I think the fans want it. So I know that though they've loosely spoken about prequels and sequels. So
well, just
know.
a technical question on that. We're talking just when the song was on about how you're up in the tower and your first scene when we first see you.
Yes.
So people weren't allowed to approach you because of footsteps on the sand because then they would see it. So if someone did approach you, was there an official sand sweeper?
Great
Oh,
question.
there was a lot of sand sweepers.
Amazing.
A lot of sand
that on your
sweepers.
resume.
No,
Yeah.
and it was really a lot of the time there had to be like perfect sand.
So
there were
these
just
people's
people
job,
on
like,
They got them from the local
duty.
golf club.
No, dead set. No, they did. They
The bunker
did.
rakers.
So this
Isn't
was
it
in
amazing?
the Namibian sand dunes, wasn't
desert.
it?
Yep.
Wow.
That
Any
is
desire to
amazing.
go back to the sand dunes
I just
of
love
Namibia?
the different jobs people have in their lives.
Yes.
Someone
Yes.
said, I was on the Megan Gale film and I was swept sand.
Yeah, but
Resume?
every job counts.
Love it.
That's
Yes.
exactly right. Well, we're excited for another season. It's season 10 of Australia's Next Top Model. It kicks off next Tuesday, everybody,
Starts
at
off with a
5:30
bang. You're going to love
on
Daisy, everybody.
Fox 8. Something to look
Oh,
forward
Daisy.
to.
Great facials.
Daisy's good.
Daisy. She's
Everything you do
Good
is
doing.
obviously brilliant, Megan Gale. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you,
in.
Thanks,
guys.
Megan.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go to Mez in Joondalup. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Mez.
Good, Mez.
Mez, now talk to us. Were you ever caught in a situation that was just too embarrassing to ask for help?
Yeah, it happened to me. It was a couple of years ago, and it was just lovely weather. I'm never usually home alone. There's always someone there. So finally everyone was gone. I was like, yes, I can use this opportunity to get some sun.
Yes.
So I'm out by the pool, tanning, without my bikini top.
Free the
And all of
girls.
a sudden, I heard, like, the door, and I was like, oh, my God, like, someone's here. So as I jumped to, like, get my top back on, I slipped and just went headfirst through the pool fence.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it wasn't great because it was, like, sort of like that bamboo style, like, but it was, like, really thin. So it was pretty much like, once you're through, it's kind of hard to get out.
Sure.
So I was, like, stood there for about 10 minutes, like, topless, trying to figure out how I'm going to get out without anyone noticing that I'm stuck. Luckily, because my head was peering through, I could see that it was my mum having a cigarette. Yeah, so I just started, like, screaming for help, and I was stood there, and she was like, what did you do? And I was like, I thought it was Dad, and yeah.
I thought it was Dad.
Yeah, it wasn't the best experience, but now that I think about it, like, think back, it's quite funny.
It's definitely funny.
That is too funny.
Were you injured at all other than pride?
It was just more like, it wasn't injured, it was just more like scratches around my neck and like a little bit on my face and the bamboo.
So what did your mum come along and then just pull you from the back end out? Is that how it worked?
Well, she kind of like, what we had to do was like, she went around the other way and had to push like the bamboo a little bit in towards me so I could try to get my head out.
Did she stop and take a couple of photos?
No, but she did.
And your wangers were
be a bit more modest.
This is why I shouldn't have children. If that was my daughter, she would have been there for hours after I called all my friends, everyone, the neighbourhood.
Never
I would
stop
have called
laughing.
today, tonight.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
We're hearing stories of when you were just too embarrassed to ask for help because of whatever situation you got yourself into.
Yeah, Tony's in Butler. Hi, Tones.
Hi, how are you going?
Yeah,
Good,
bud.
Tone.
Good bud. Don't be embarrassed telling a story now. You're with friends. What happened?
Playing in the sand, or when I was digging around in the sand when I was a young fella. I've gone for the shower and I've looked down and I've got about 16 sands, those little black sand ticks all around me never reach.
Oh my
Tony,
God.
you got the tick of approval.
Now, do you need someone's help to get them off?
No, I hit panic buttons. I didn't know whether to call Dad or what to do, so I've dug around in the bathroom sink and found a set of tweezers, sat down on the edge of the bath and slowly plucked away.
Tony. Oh.
So those suckers are trying to burrow in as well.
You've got to make sure you get the head out of them as well.
You do.
Very important.
Don't say head.
Yeah, that was a difficult bit, especially one was right in the, so to speak, eye.
Yeah. That's not where you live. That's not where you live.
He thought it would be a good home, but
No.
Nobody wants a tick in their eye.
We'll just move
Tony.
there.
Tony, that's horrific
Well,
on every front.
You've gone through a little bit of a thing, haven't you?
Let's go to Shelley in Bickley. Hello.
Hello, how you going?
Hi,
Shelley.
Shelley.
Now, why were you too embarrassed to ask for help?
When I was a bit younger and living at home, I got out of the shower and went into my bedroom and I noticed my dog got his toy stuck under the bed. So I thought, oh yeah, this is fine. So I reached under the bed to get his toy out and I flicked his toy out and then my arm got stuck under the bed.
So are you naked at this point?
Yeah, so I'm laying face down on the ground, totally nude. And the dog had buggered off because he, had already got his toy. So I had to lay there and text my parents and ask them how far away they were.
Yeah.
For my mum to come in first and cover me up.
Come in and lay a towel over you.
Discreetly.
So then Dad could come in and lift up the bed and free you.
Yeah. So I was there for about half an hour before.
Okay.
Shout.
So you've texted your mum and dad, so you've got that, they're coming. So what did you do for half an hour? Did you text other people? What did you do?
Check
I tried to
Facebook.
get my arm out, and then I tried to reach my towel, but I couldn't reach anything. I put my arm out, so I kind of just lay there.
What about the doona? Was the doona not within reach?
No. Well, it was on the other side of the bed.
Okay.
Sweetheart. You went through something as
Yeah,
well.
you certainly did.
Mum,
Great stories,
get in
everyone.
here first, cover me with a towel so Dad doesn't see my hoo-ha. Because I'm stuck under the bed.
No, good policy. Good policy.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.